beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. And wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him o'er so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered, comes to the entertainer.
$1.
Huh? Dollar comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord.
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee spare.
Well, I have done. But yet
We'll be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock?
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seemed to be desert,
So you're paid.
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs. And rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
That there's none or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
Ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green int.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afric, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Widow? Pox on that. How came that widow in? Widow Dido?
What if he had said widow at Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said you. You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He has raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Bait, I beseech you, widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido, aye, Widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence, my son is lost, and in my rate, she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. It would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she, at least, is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to, and importuned otherwise, by all of us. And the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son. I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business-making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own!
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rubbed the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most chirurgingly.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord,
I'd sow it with nettle seed.
Dogs or mallow.
and were the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
I' the commonwealth, I would by contraries execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit. No name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil. No occupation, all men idle, all. And women, too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on't.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind all foison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects?
None, man. All idle, whores, knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo!
Do you mount me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it has not fallen flatlock.
Ah, you are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go about fouling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
Now I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I'm very heavy.
Go, sleep, and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might? Worthy Sebastian. Oh, what might? No more. And yet methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep, with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die, rather, wink'st whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too if heed me, which to do trebles the o'er.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth, indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion only professes to persuade, the king his sons alive, 'tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabel.
She that is queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post, the man in the moon's too slow, till new-born chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true. My brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chuff of his deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tend to your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother, Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much feater than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience!
Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon, if he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, whilst you, doing thus to the perpetual wink, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gott'st Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living.
While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware.
Awake! Awake! Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king!
Oh, awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
As we stood here securing your repose, even now, we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls, or rather lions. Did not wake you, it struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright monsters here to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honour, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one, too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a dis-ease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll no pinch fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometime like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me. Then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, now lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. On same black cloud, yond huge one looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. Oh, what have we here? Oh, a man or a fish, dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of knot of the Lewis Poor John. Ooh, strange fish. Now, were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there, but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Oh, leg like a man. And his fins like arms. Oh, warm, oh my troth. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Oh, alas, the storm is come again. Well, my best way is to creep under his gabardine. Well, there's no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. Oh, I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past. Oh.
I shall the sea, here shall I die ashore. It's a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. Here, master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner, and his mate, love more Meg and Marian than Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate.
for she at a tongue of the tang would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tar or of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her while her sea did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
Do not torment me, oh!
What's the matter? Every devil's here. Do you put tricks upon the savages and men of India? I have not escaped drowned to be feared now of your 4 legs, for it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again, while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me, oh!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. The devil should he learn our language? I'll give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather. And I
Do not torment me, Freddy. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt, thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. It shall shake your shaking, I can tell you that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be. But he is drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Come in. I will pour some in thy other mouth. Stefano, does thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou be Stefano, touch me and speak to me. For I am Trinculo. Be not afeard. Thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculo?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke, but art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. Oh, and art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano! Two Neapolitans escaped.
Please do not tell me about my stomach. It's not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escaped.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. Well, I can't swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, here's the book.
Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, Mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I saw thee. I was the man of the moment I was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss a book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I afeard of him. A very weak monster. The man in the moon. A most poor credulous monster. Well-drawn monster in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my God.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
Oh, I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But that the poor monster's in drink. Oh, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. I plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
Oh, a most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunk.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare thee nimble marmosette. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammers from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now lead the way without any more talk.
Ah!
Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Now, fellow Trinculo, we'll fill it by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell!
Drunken monster!
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetch in firing ad requiring, nor scrape trenchering, nor wash dish. Ban Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
Some sports are painful, and their labour, delight in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness had a never like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours. Most busy least when I do it.
Alas, now pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you're enjoined to pile. Oh, pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, Weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pyre.
No, precious creature. I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me. When you are by at night, I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hairs to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women. Never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad I'm skillless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so, I would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake, am I this patient logman?
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven. Oh, earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true, if hollowly invert what best is boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what else i' the world, do love, prize, honour you.
I am a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heaven's rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. Oh, but this is trifling. And all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then.
I, with a heart as willing as bondage, heir of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they, I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.